Hello guys, we are going to be doing the blind 75 list. We'll start with arrays and hashing. So let's start with the first problem contains duplicate. Um, Says given an array of nums, return true if any value appears at least twice in the array, and return false if every element is distinct. So before we start coding, we should think about what is the best approach to do this. For this array, we've got the numbers 1, 2, 3, 1. So in this particular case, 1 is repeated twice. So hence this is being repeated. So we'll say true. In this particular instance, there's no repetition. So we'll say false. So one way that comes to mind is we can start with this number 1 and we can go through the rest of the array, meaning we can count n minus 1 times. And then we can do the same thing for 2. Now for 2, because we are already checked 1 and everything else, we won't have to repeat the first count. But for 2, we'll have to do the iteration n minus 2 times. So n minus 1 plus n minus 2 plus n minus 3 for the n series. So that's an n square solution because we are counting some ranges to n times. So that's an n square solution in the worst case. Of course, we'll have to think if we can do it better, we can solve this problem in less number of iterations. So what we can do is we can use a data structure called a hash set, in which the lookup time is an O of 1 solution. So what we'll do is we'll have an hash set on the side, and we'll look at the first value 1 and we'll say is 1 in that hash set, and there we can check it in O of 1 time. And because 1 is not there, So we'll add 1 to the hash set. Now we'll go on to 2 and we'll see is 2 in the hash set. Again, we can check all of that in O of 1 time. And because it is not there, we'll add it. So we'll keep on going until we come across onto this one and we'll see is 1 in the hash set, and it is. So hence we'll return true. Because each of these instances can be checked in O of 1 time and we have to iterate through a list of n integers. So the solution is going to be O of n, which is much better than O of n square. So I guess we've spoken enough about it. So let's start to code. This is the blueprint of the solution. Everything in Python is an object. Uh, The, the blueprint of an object is a class. So this is how it starts. Class solution. Define is a function. If you're coming from the JavaScript world, you would say function something. In Python, we say define contains duplicate. Self is the reference to the object, and then nums is the input that we are being given. It is of type list, which is the same as an array, and the data type is integer. We have to return true or false, hence the Boolean. I won't be repeating all the explanation that I gave here for the first video, but I just wanted to make sure that everyone's on the same page here. So like we spoke, first we'll define the hash set. So we'll call it hash set as hash set, and this is how you define it in Python. You say set parenthesis, and then we'll go on, iterate through the list. So we can say for n in nums, there are different ways, but n in nums is basically going to give us the integer itself. We are not concerned about the index or anything at this time. And we'll say if this n is in the hash set, which is we named as hash set, then you return true. Otherwise, if it's not there, then what do we have to do? We have to add it. So we'll say hash set dot add, and then we'll add n coming from the VS Code world. And then although and if so what's going on? So basically we looked at this n, and if n is in the hash set, then of course we return true, otherwise we add. But if we go throughout the loop and if we do not find it true, and if we keep adding and we run through the list, then in the end we'll return a false. And that should be it. So we run the solution and it gives accepted values and we can submit it. See you in the next one.